home should be the space where love, safety, and rhythm enable a child to thrive. A loving home ultimately teaches us how to love and how to care. But every environment has the potential to shape our hearts.
Buckingham Palace just shattered the world with an announcement no one saw coming. Catherine, Princess of Wales, the beloved royal who seemed to be recovering, is now facing her darkest hour. What doctors discovered in those November scans has left the medical team stunned and the royal family devastated. The truth they've been hiding? It's far worse than anyone imagined.
Every one of you interacts with your own environment: a home, a family, a business, a workforce, a community. These are the ecosystems that you yourselves help to weave.
As Catherine prepares to say goodbye to public life indefinitely, insiders whisper about preparations being made behind closed doors. Catherine, Princess of Wales, was facing a health battle far more serious than previously acknowledged. The woman who has become a symbol of modern royal life, admired for her grace and dedication to public service, was confronting a challenge that no amount of preparation or privilege could shield her from. The announcement sent shockwaves through newsrooms, social media platforms, and living rooms across the globe. The statement revealed that Catherine's medical situation had taken an unexpected turn. Back in March of 2024, the palace had announced that she was undergoing preventative chemotherapy following abdominal surgery. At the time, the message was one of cautious optimism. The surgery had been successful, and the chemotherapy was described as a precautionary measure. But today's announcement painted a different picture entirely. The cancer, which had been discovered during surgery in January, had proven to be more aggressive than doctors initially believed. The medical team advising the royal household had recommended an extended and significantly more intensive treatment protocol. This would require Catherine to step back completely from all public duties for an indefinite period. The use of those specific terms, extended treatment and indefinite period, signaled something far beyond a temporary setback. Royal correspondents, trained to read between the lines of palace communications, immediately understood the gravity of the situation. Every word in official royal statements goes through multiple levels of scrutiny. Nothing is included by accident, and nothing is left to chance. When the palace chooses language like this, they are sending a clear message to those who know how to interpret it. This was not about taking a few months off to recover from routine medical procedures. This was about a woman in her early 40s fighting a serious illness while trying to protect her 3 young children from the full reality of what their mother was enduring. The response was immediate and overwhelming. Within minutes of the announcement going public, social media platforms erupted with reaction. On Twitter, now known as X, Catherine's name began trending worldwide almost instantly. The hashtag #PrayForCatherine climbed to the #1 spot in over 50 countries. Instagram posts from royal fan accounts and news organizations garnered millions of views within the first hour. Comment sections filled with messages of support, shock, and concern. But the reaction went far deeper than social media metrics could capture. Something more profound was happening across the country and around the world. People who had never particularly followed the royal family, who had no strong feelings about the monarchy, one way or another, found themselves genuinely moved by the unfolding tragedy. Here was a woman who had devoted herself to public service, who had raised her children with remarkable care despite the extraordinary circumstances of their position, now facing every parent's worst nightmare. The timing of the announcement felt particularly cruel to many observers. Just last month, Catherine had appeared at the Remembrance Day service at the cenotaph. She stood on the balcony, dressed impeccably in black, her composure absolute. To the millions watching, both in person and on television, she appeared to be recovering well. It seemed like a triumphant return to public life, a gradual resumption of her duties after a difficult year. Many took it as a sign that the worst was behind her. Behind the scenes, however, a very different reality was taking shape. Medical scans performed in late November had revealed complications that no one in her medical team had anticipated. The cancer cells, which doctors had hoped were completely eliminated by the chemotherapy, had shown signs of activity in areas that filled the specialists with deep concern. What should have been routine follow-up scans instead became the beginning of a new and more worrying chapter. Palace insiders, speaking on condition of anonymity to various news outlets, painted a picture of controlled chaos in the hours leading up to the public announcement. Senior members of the royal family were informed late the previous night during emergency meetings convened at short notice. King Charles himself, who has been managing his own cancer diagnosis revealed earlier in the year, was said to be devastated by the news about his daughter-in-law. Prince William faced perhaps the most difficult position of all. As Catherine's husband and closest support, he had been living with the knowledge of her deteriorating condition while maintaining a public face of calm. He had to be the one to make the final decision about releasing the full truth to the public. The alternative, continuing to maintain the appearance that everything was progressing normally, had become impossible. Medical realities have a way of forcing difficult decisions, and the royal family's hand had been forced in the most heartbreaking way possible. The announcement raised immediate questions about what would happen next. Catherine holds numerous patronages with charities and organisations across the United Kingdom. She has been particularly focused on early childhood development, mental health awareness, and supporting the arts. These organisations depend not just on the prestige of royal patronage, but on the active involvement and public profile that comes with it. Her indefinite absence would create challenges that would need to be carefully managed. There were also questions about upcoming royal events and state occasions. The monarchy's calendar is planned months and sometimes years in advance. Major ceremonies, diplomatic visits, and national commemorations all require the presence of senior royals. Catherine's participation in these events had become both expected and valued. Her absence would be noticed and would create gaps in the carefully choreographed schedule of royal life. For the British public, the announcement served as a stark reminder that wealth, status, and privilege offer no protection against serious illness. The royal family, despite all their resources and access to the finest medical care available, was facing the same fear and uncertainty that millions of families across the country know all too well. At that moment, the distance between the palace and ordinary life seemed to vanish entirely. As the news continued to spread throughout the day, tributes and messages of support poured in from around the world. Political leaders, celebrities, and ordinary people alike expressed their shock and offered their prayers and best wishes. The outpouring of genuine concern demonstrated just how much Catherine had come to mean to people, far beyond her official role as Princess of Wales. To understand the full weight of the announcement that shook the world, we need to go back to where this nightmare began. January 16th, 2024 was supposed to be an ordinary day in the carefully organised life of the Princess of Wales. Instead, it marked the beginning of a journey through darkness that Catherine could never have anticipated or prepared for. The planned abdominal surgery had been described to the public as routine, a procedure for a non-cancerous condition that would require a brief hospital stay and recovery period. Catherine was admitted to the London Clinic, one of Britain's most prestigious private hospitals where the best surgeons and medical staff would oversee her care. Everything was supposed to be straightforward. The family had been assured there was nothing to worry about. But during the procedure, surgeons discovered something that changed everything. Abnormalities were found that demanded immediate attention and further investigation. Tissue samples were taken for biopsy, and the surgical team knew instantly that this was no longer the routine operation they had planned for. The results, delivered several days later, brought news that no one wanted to hear. Cancer. That single word that strikes fear into the hearts of millions was now part of Catherine's reality. This was not just any cancer diagnosis. The specific type and location, details that the palace has carefully protected out of respect for Catherine's privacy, suggested a particularly aggressive form that would require immediate and intensive treatment. Medical experts who have spoken generally about such cases explain that when cancer is discovered unexpectedly during surgery for other issues, it often means the disease has been developing silently, undetected, for some time. This silent progression is precisely what makes it so dangerous and so difficult to predict. The decision to undergo preventative chemotherapy was announced to the world in an emotional video message that Catherine released in March. She appeared on camera, speaking directly to the public with characteristic dignity and composure. She explained that while the surgery had been successful, tests had revealed the presence of cancer, and her medical team had recommended chemotherapy as the best path forward. She was calm, measured, and determined to face whatever came next. What she did not say, what she could not say without causing widespread panic, was just how concerned her doctors actually were. They worried about microscopic disease that might have already spread beyond the surgical site. Cancer cells too small to detect on scans, but potentially dangerous enough to establish themselves elsewhere in her body. The chemotherapy was not just precautionary, it was essential, and it needed to begin as soon as Catherine had recovered enough from the surgery to tolerate the toxic treatment. The chemotherapy regimen that Catherine endured over the following months was brutal by any measure. Friends close to the family have quietly shared with trusted journalists that the side effects were far worse than anyone had anticipated. The nausea was relentless, often lasting for days after each treatment cycle. The fatigue was overwhelming, leaving her barely able to get through the day. And then there was the hair loss, a visible reminder of the poison coursing through her veins, something she managed to conceal through expert styling and carefully chosen wigs during the rare moments she appeared in public. Each cycle of treatment followed the same pattern. She would receive the chemotherapy drugs, then spend days feeling violently ill as the medication worked its way through her system. Just as she would start to feel slightly better, barely recovering enough strength to engage with her children or manage basic daily tasks, it would be time for the next cycle to begin. The physical toll was immense, but the emotional and psychological weight may have been even harder to bear. Throughout the spring and summer of 2024, Catherine largely disappeared from public view. The photographs that were released by Buckingham Palace during this time showed a woman doing her best to maintain some sense of normality for her children. There were birthday portraits, carefully staged to show happy family moments. There were casual snapshots of the family together, designed to reassure the public that the princess was managing her treatment and recovery. Each image was carefully curated to project strength and optimism, but those who knew how to look could see troubling signs in these photographs. The weight loss was noticeable to anyone paying close attention. Catherine had always been slim, but now she appeared gaunt in ways that spoke to the toll the treatment was taking. The positioning in photographs seemed designed to hide just how much the illness and treatment had changed her appearance. Events that she would have normally attended without question were quietly cancelled, with brief statements citing her ongoing recovery. By September, when Catherine released another video message announcing the completion of her chemotherapy, there was reason for cautious optimism. She spoke of relief, of looking forward to undertaking more public engagements in the coming months, of finally seeing light at the end of a very long tunnel. The video footage showed her with William and their children in the Norfolk countryside, laughing together, walking through fields, enjoying what appeared to be a carefree family moment. It seemed like a victory, a public declaration that she had beaten the odds and come through the other side. Medical professionals who watched that announcement video, however, noted something that most viewers missed. Catherine's language was very carefully chosen. She said that her chemotherapy had ended, but she did not say that she was cancer-free. She spoke of entering a new phase of recovery, not of being cured. To trained ears, these distinctions mattered enormously. She was not claiming victory over cancer, she was simply acknowledging that one phase of treatment had concluded. The autumn months brought what appeared to be a gradual return to royal duties. Catherine made a brief but significant appearance at Wimbledon in July, one of her favourite events of the year. The crowd's reaction when she appeared was overwhelming, with a standing ovation that seemed to go on forever. She smiled and waved, clearly moved by the outpouring of support. Then in November, she attended the Remembrance Day service, standing with dignity and grace alongside other members of the royal family, as the nation honoured those who had fallen in service. Each of these public appearances was carefully managed down to the smallest detail. Her schedule was meticulously planned to accommodate her energy levels, which remained far below what they had been before her diagnosis. Meetings were held beforehand with her medical team to ensure she was strong enough to attend. Contingency plans were in place in case she felt unwell during the event. Rest periods were built in before and after each engagement. Nothing was left to chance. What the public did not know was that behind every one of these appearances were extensive medical consultations and growing concern among her doctors. The scans that should have shown clear progress, that should have confirmed the chemotherapy had done its job, instead revealed shadows. Small areas of concern appeared on the images, abnormalities that required additional testing to understand. Further imaging was ordered. More biopsies were performed. And the results that came back brought news that no one wanted to hear. By late November, Catherine's medical team was facing an agonizing reality that they could no longer avoid. The cancer was not gone. Despite the months of brutal chemotherapy, despite all the suffering she had already endured, the disease had found a way to persist. It was adapting, evolving, demonstrating the kind of resilience that makes cancer so terrifying and so difficult to defeat. The cells had developed resistance to the treatments that should have killed them. New protocols would be necessary, the doctors concluded. More intensive treatment, more experimental approaches, more uncertainty about outcomes. The conversation that her medical team had with Catherine and William about these findings must have been devastating. Everything they had hoped for, everything they had believed was working, had proven insufficient. The battle was not over. In many ways, it was only just beginning. Throughout all of this, Catherine maintained a strength that those around her found almost superhuman. People who spent time with her during this period speak of a woman absolutely determined not to be defined by her illness. She continued to be involved in her charitable work, even if only behind the scenes. She read every letter sent by well-wishers, touched by the outpouring of support from complete strangers. She participated in decisions about her children's education and daily activities. She supported William as he took on increasing responsibilities while watching his wife fight for her life. But the toll was undeniable, visible to anyone who knew her well. This was a fight that tested not just physical strength, but mental and emotional reserves that no one should ever have to draw upon. Behind the grand facades and golden gates of royal residences, the Wales family has been living through what every family dreads most does. Contrast between the public image of royal life and the private reality unfolding behind closed doors has rarely been so stark. Prince William, the future King of England, has found himself thrust into a role that no amount of royal training or preparation could have equipped him for. He is now the primary caregiver and emotional anchor for a wife facing a life-threatening illness, while simultaneously trying to shield 3 young children from the full horror of what their mother is enduring. William's transformation over these past 11 months has been nothing short of remarkable. The prince, who once seemed content to let Catherine handle much of the family's day-to-day organisation and routine, has become intimately involved in every aspect of their children's lives. He handles morning routines, making sure everyone is up and ready for the day. He does school runs, dropping the children off and picking them up, chatting with other parents at the gates like any other father. He helps with homework in the evenings, sitting at the kitchen table, working through mathematics problems and spelling lists. He reads bedtime stories, tucking each child in and answering their questions about when mummy will feel better. He has taken on all these responsibilities while simultaneously managing his own expanding royal duties and dealing with the emotional devastation of watching the woman he loves fight for her life. Friends who know William well describe him as operating on autopilot much of the time, going through the motions of each day while internally terrified of what the future might hold. The facade he maintains in public, the calm and composed prince carrying out his duties with professionalism, masks a private reality of constant worry and fear. The children, Prince George, Princess Charlotte, and Prince Louis, have been carefully sheltered from the full extent of their mother's illness, but they are not oblivious to what is happening around them. George Adtor, 11 years old, understands far more than his parents might wish. He has seen his mother's exhaustion, the days when she is too tired to do the activities they used to enjoy together. He has noticed the hospital visits, the medical appointments that take her away from home. He has heard the hushed conversations between his parents late at night when they think the children are asleep. Charlotte, who is 9, has become almost protective of Catherine in ways that break her parents' hearts. She wants to help, to make her mother feel better, to do something to fix the situation. She brings Catherine cups of tea without being asked. She draws pictures to cheer her up. She sits quietly beside her mother when Catherine is too tired to do much else, just wanting to be close. The maturity she has shown during this crisis is both admirable and deeply sad. A child forced to grow up too quickly by circumstances beyond anyone's control. Louis, at just 6 years old, knows something is wrong evens. If he cannot fully articulate what that something is, he asks questions that are heartbreaking in their innocence. Why is mummy always tired? When will she be able to play again? Is she going to get better? William and Catherine do their best to answer honestly without frightening him, walking a tightrope between truth and reassurance that no parent should have to navigate. The family has sought guidance from child psychologists who specialize in helping families navigate serious illness. The experts have advised them on how to have these difficult conversations, how to be honest without being terrifying, and how to prepare the children for possibilities that no child should ever have to consider. The advice has been invaluable, but it does not make the reality any easier to live with day after day. Lambrook School, where all 3 children attend, has been fully informed of the situation and has provided additional support as discreetly as possible. Teachers have been briefed on behavioural changes to watch for, signs that the children might be struggling more than they are letting on at home. The school community, known for its discretion and respect for the privacy of its high-profile families, has rallied around the Wales children without making them feel singled out or different from their classmates. It is a delicate balance that requires constant communication between the school and Kensington Palace staff. Meanwhile, King Charles finds himself in a uniquely painful position. He is dealing with his own cancer diagnosis while watching his daughter-in-law, a woman he has come to regard as a true daughter, face an even more serious battle. King's cancer, discovered in February during treatment for an enlarged prostate, has required ongoing treatment but has been deemed manageable by his medical team. His doctors have been cautiously optimistic about his prognosis, giving him hope that he can continue his duties as monarch for years to come. But learning the full extent of Catherine's deteriorating condition has taken a visible toll on Charles. Those close to him say the news hit him harder than almost anything else in recent years. He has increased his private visits to Adelaide Cottage, where William and Catherine live with their children, spending time with the family and offering whatever support and wisdom he can provide. He plays with his grandchildren, giving William and Catherine moments of respite. He sits with Catherine when she feels up to having visitors, not talking about illness or treatment, but simply being present. The relationship between Charles and William during this crisis has revealed the genuine strength of their bond. Gone are the tensions and awkwardness that sometimes characterize their interactions in previous years. Father and son have found common ground in shared adversity. They speak on the phone daily, often multiple times, comparing notes on their respective treatments, sharing fears they cannot voice to others, supporting each other through the unique loneliness that comes with carrying the weight of monarchy during personal crises. Charles has also ensured that William is gradually taking on more of the responsibilities that will one day be his as king. This transition was always going to happen eventually, but circumstances have accelerated the timeline in ways no one wanted or anticipated. William is being prepared for the possibility that he might need to step up even more than anyone had planned, though this is a subject approached with extreme delicacy, given what it might imply about both his father's health and his wife's condition. Queen Camilla has emerged as an unexpected pillar of strength during this time. Her own experience watching her first husband and several close friends battle serious illnesses has given her a perspective that others in the family lack. She understands the exhaustion that comes with being a caregiver, the fear that accompanies every medical appointment, the guilt that wells up when you feel healthy while someone you love suffers. She knows what it means to put on a brave face for the world while falling apart inside. Camilla has spent considerable time with Catherine over these months, not talking about the illness or dwelling on medical details, but simply being present as someone who understands. They have developed a bond that transcends their official relationship as queen and princess, finding solace in a shared understanding of what it means to love men who carry the impossible weight of monarchy. These quiet moments together, away from cameras and official duties, have provided Catherine with a kind of support that even William, for all his love and devotion, cannot fully provide. The broader royal family has closed ranks in a way that is rarely seen or acknowledged publicly. Princess Anne, known throughout her life for her no-nonsense approach and relentless work ethic, has quietly taken on additional engagements to ease the burden on both Charles and William. She attends events that might otherwise have been cancelled, represents the family at functions that require a senior royal presence, and does it all without fanfare or complaint. Her dedication to duty, already legendary, has reached new heights during this crisis. Prince Edward and Sophie, the Duke and Duchess of Edinburgh, have also significantly increased their public appearances and have been particularly supportive behind the scenes. Sophie, who has always had a close relationship with Catherine, has been a regular visitor and a source of practical help and emotional support. Edward has stepped up to cover royal duties that would normally fall to William, allowing the Prince of Wales to spend more time with his family during this incredibly difficult period. Even royal cousins who typically maintain a more distant relationship with the core family have reached out, offering whatever assistance they can provide. The crisis has reminded everyone that beneath the titles and the formality, they are still a family facing something that transcends protocol and hierarchy. When one of their own is suffering, the instinct to rally together proves stronger than any petty disagreements or past tensions. As the initial shock of the announcement begins to fade, attention naturally turns to what lies ahead for Catherine and her family. The path forward is uncertain and fraught with challenges that will test everyone involved in ways they could never have imagined. For Catherine personally, the journey ahead means submitting to whatever treatment protocols her medical team recommends, knowing that each decision carries enormous weight and consequence. The balance between fighting aggressively against the disease and maintaining quality of life becomes absolutely critical at this stage. She desperately wants to beat this illness, to be there for her children as they grow up, to fulfill her role as Princess of Wales and future Queen. But she also wants to be present and functional in her children's daily lives right now, not just existing in the same house, but too sick from treatment to engage with them meaningfully. Finding treatments that offer genuine hope of success while still allowing her to be an active mother requires careful consideration and constant adjustment based on how her body responds. The next phase of treatment, set to begin in the coming weeks according to palace sources, will likely be more intensive than anything Catherine has already endured. Whether this involves combination chemotherapy using different drugs than before, immunotherapy that harnesses her own immune system to fight the cancer, targeted therapy aimed at specific genetic mutations in the cancer cells, or some combination of all these approaches, the side effects will be significant and unavoidable. Managing these effects while maintaining any semblance of normal family life will require tremendous support systems and resources. The Wales household has access to care that most cancer patients can only dream of. Round-the-clock medical monitoring means that any concerning symptoms can be addressed immediately. Private chefs can prepare meals specifically tailored to Catherine's nutritional needs and designed to be appealing, even when nausea makes most food unappealing. Household staff handle the daily tasks of running a home that can become overwhelming when someone is going through intensive cancer treatment. Yet for all these resources and advantages, all the money and status in the world cannot make cancer easier to bear. The nausea still comes, the fatigue still weighs her down, the fear about what tomorrow might bring still keeps her awake at night. The emotional toll of watching her children try to be brave while clearly worried about their mother still breaks her heart every single day. Privilege provides comfort and options, but it does not provide immunity from suffering. William's role in the months ahead cannot be overstated or underestimated. He must continue to be a devoted husband, an attentive caregiver, a loving father, and the future King of England, all at the same time. The pressure he faces is truly extraordinary, yet those who know him well say he draws strength from Catherine's example. If she can face cancer with dignity and determination, he tells himself, then he can face the challenge of supporting her through it. Their relationship, tested as few relationships ever are, will either emerge stronger or buckle under the immense weight placed upon it. All indications from those close to the couple suggest the former. The bond between William and Catherine, forged over more than 2 decades together, appears genuinely unshakable. They met as students at university, became friends first before romance blossomed, weathered the pressures of public scrutiny during their courtship, and have built a marriage based on genuine partnership and mutual respect. This foundation is proving crucial now as they face the greatest challenge of their lives together. William has told friends that he cannot imagine going through this with anyone else, that Catherine's strength inspires him, even as he tries to be strong for her. For George, Charlotte, and Louis, the coming months will inevitably shape their understanding of family, resilience, and mortality in ways that will impact them for the rest of their lives. Child psychologists who work with families facing serious illness emphasize the importance of age-appropriate honesty, maintaining routine and normalcy wherever possible, and ensuring that children know they can express their feelings openly without worrying about burdening their parents further. The Wales family has apparently embraced this guidance wholeheartedly. They have regular family meetings where the children can ask questions about their mother's treatment and express their concerns or fears. William and Catherine answer as honestly as, They can without providing details that might frighten the children unnecessarily. They have made it clear that no question is off limits, that any feeling is valid, and that it is okay to be scared or sad or angry about what is happening. Just as importantly, they are ensuring that despite everything happening around them, there are still moments of pure joy in the children's lives. There are still family movie nights with popcorn. There are still trips to the park when Catherine feels well enough. There are still silly games and laughter and the ordinary moments that make childhood special. Cancer may be an unwelcome presence in their home, but it does not get to define every single moment of every single day. The broader royal family's support will continue to be absolutely crucial in the months ahead. Regular visits from grandparents, aunts, uncles, and cousins provide both practical help and emotional sustenance that cannot be measured but is deeply felt. The royal calendar is being quietly adjusted to allow senior royals to spend more time supporting William and the children. Some planned international trips may need to be postponed or reassigned to other members of the family. State visits might be scaled back or simplified. The institution must adapt to the reality that one of its most central and important figures is fighting for her life. The communication strategy from Kensington Palace will also continue to evolve in response to changing circumstances. The recent announcement represents a significant shift toward greater transparency about Catherine's condition than was evident in the earlier stages of her illness. While specific medical details will always remain private out of respect for Catherine's dignity and the family's wishes, the public can expect more regular updates about her treatment progress and overall condition in the coming months. This increased openness serves several important purposes. It helps manage public expectations about Catherine's absence from official duties, preventing speculation about when she might return. It reduces the spread of rumours and misinformation that can flourish in the absence of official information. And it allows the nation and the world to feel genuinely connected to Catherine's journey, to support her in meaningful ways even from a distance. The alternative approach, attempting to maintain complete privacy through silence and minimal information, has proven simply untenable in the modern media environment. The timeline for any possible return to public duties remains genuinely uncertain, and palace officials are wisely refusing to make predictions they might not be able to keep. Best-case scenarios might see Catherine able to attend some carefully selected events later in 2025, though certainly in a significantly reduced capacity compared to her schedule before diagnosis. More realistic projections suggest that substantial public engagement will not resume until 2026 at the earliest, and possibly not even then. There is also the difficult possibility that must be acknowledged, even though it is painful to contemplate, that Catherine may never fully return to the level of royal duty and public service she maintained before her cancer diagnosis. This would represent a fundamental shift in how the Wales household operates on a daily basis, and how the monarchy as an institution functions going forward. The implications of such a change would be profound and far-reaching, affecting everything from which charities receive royal patronage to how the family manages work-life balance. Medical advancements in cancer treatment do offer genuine reasons for hope. The field of oncology continues to evolve at a truly remarkable pace, with new drugs and treatment approaches that did not exist even 5 years ago now becoming standard care. Clinical trials provide access to cutting-edge therapies that show promise but have not yet received full regulatory approval. Catherine's medical team, composed of the leading cancer specialists in the United Kingdom and with access to expertise from around the world, will ensure she has every possible tool available in the fight against her disease. If experimental treatments show genuine promise based on emerging research, Catherine will be among the very first patients to potentially benefit from them. Money and royal status cannot buy guaranteed outcomes or miracle cures that do not exist, but they absolutely do provide access to every option, every specialist, and every resource that might make a difference. Her doctors can consult with colleagues anywhere in the world, can access any medication or therapy that shows potential, and can move quickly when opportunities arise. The spiritual dimension of Catherine's journey has also become increasingly important as the crisis has deepened. As the future Queen and eventually the Supreme Governor of the Church of England, Catherine's faith has always been a part of her life, but during this ordeal it has become even more central. Private prayers with trusted clergy, finding solace and strength in Scripture, and the support of a faith community that spans the entire nation provide comfort that medicine alone simply cannot offer. Whether one is personally religious or not, the power of faith to sustain people through suffering and uncertainty is undeniable and should not be dismissed. Looking further into the future, should Catherine recover sufficiently to resume public duties in whatever capacity proves possible, her experience with serious illness will inevitably shape the nature of her royal work going forward. Having faced cancer firsthand, having navigated the healthcare system even from her privileged position, having endured the physical and emotional toll of intensive treatment, she will bring even greater authenticity and depth to her advocacy work around mental health and support for families dealing with medical crises. Her existing patronage of cancer charities and research organizations would take on profound new meaning. She could become a powerful voice for patients trying to navigate complex treatment decisions, for increased funding for cancer research, and for the emotional support structures that families facing cancer desperately need, but often struggle to access. Her voice on these issues would carry unique weight and credibility born from lived experience rather than abstract concern. There is also the legacy being written in real time, regardless of how this story ultimately ends. Catherine's grace under unimaginable pressure, her determination to protect her children's well-being and childhood innocence as much as possible, her refusal to let illness completely define who she is. These qualities resonate far beyond royal circles and traditional supporters of the monarchy. She is demonstrating a very modern form of courage, one that acknowledges vulnerability and fear while refusing to surrender to despair or hopelessness. The British public and people around the world find themselves in the unusual position of caring deeply about someone they have never met and likely never will. Catherine has achieved something truly remarkable over her years as a member of the royal family. She has made the monarchy feel human and relatable while still maintaining the dignity and sense of mystique that makes it special. Her illness strips away any remaining facade, revealing the fundamental truth that royalty offers absolutely no protection against life's cruelest and most unfair challenges. In facing cancer with courage, honesty, and grace, Catherine reminds all of us of our shared humanity. She shows that suffering does not discriminate based on wealth or status or title, and she demonstrates that hope, love, and determination matter more than any privilege when confronting the hardest battles life can throw at us. As the world watches and waits for news in the coming weeks and months, that message resonates louder than any official announcement ever could.